Hello, and welcome to my SmackDown review. Okay, there's a lot to say about this show, especially doing with the after, or the night, I wouldn't even say night after, but SmackDown after Mania. Let's go with that. SmackDown after Mania. What do we got tonight on this show, eh? Well, first off, we got the new Universal Champion coming out, Braun Strowman. Pretty much Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary. So surprisingly, we got a two-man announced team. I'm sure a lot of people say, "Where's the social distancing in that?" Especially having two announcers next to each other. I'm surprised that Corey Graves is even back on the show in general. But hey, we got two announcers now on the show. So commentary teams got two people this week. Where was Graves? We'll get more into him later. But like I said, two people on the announced team this week. Strowman came out and talked about how when an opportunity knocks on the door, you knock down and kick it off the hinges. And pretty much he took everything that Goldberg could dish out. And he understands why he's a Hall of Famer and a legend for a good reason. But Strowman said he refused to stay down, and he put Goldberg down for good. But as Strowman continued to talk, Shinsuke Nakamura came out then. Nakamura came out and pretty much talked to Strowman saying that you said something about an opportunity knocking, right? And he says, knock, knock. And then Nakamura said, you're supposed to say who's there. Strowman pretty much told Nakamura that you need to let me enjoy my night as champion, or he's going to knock the crap out of you. Nakamura brought up an old Japanese proverb. He says, it's meant that the meek are weak and the strong eat. And Strowman says, I got my own proverb for you. Is that you will get these hands. And pretty much Strowman turned around. Cesaro was going to sneak attack him, but Strowman ended up throwing Nakamura. He threw Cesaro over the top rope. Nakamura kicked him a couple times before he got out of the ring. And him and Cesaro left. Interesting, no Sami Zayn. That's the most interesting part of this segment. Usually you got Sami Zayn talking for Nakamura. Nakamura actually came out and did his own promo, which I don't remember the last time I've seen that. His English has gotten better, I'll say for Nakamura, but I don't really remember the last time he cut a promo on his own without Sami Zayn talking for him. So I don't know why Zayn was not here tonight, but Nakamura got to speak on his own, and I guess they pretty much had a match later on for Strowman and Nakamura. Next, rematch for the women's tag team titles. Asuka and Kairi Sane, Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Listen, I didn't really like the match from WrestleMania last week. And did I really like this one in general? It was okay, I guess. I thought it was funny when they had Asuka and Nikki Cross pretty much yelling at each other on top of the announce table as Asuka's yelling into the headset, which, like I said, is two crazy people yelling at each other, so that was pretty insane. And I'll say the Twisted Bliss that Bliss did on the top rope to the outside on Kairi and Asuka did look pretty good, too. Pretty much the Cross was back in the ring. She hit that spinning neck breaker on Kairi Sane and won. Did I really need to see this match again? Not really. I've said this before, like I said in my review. Honestly, this match is almost similar to what happened Saturday at WrestleMania. I said 3 out of the 4 people could really work in this match, and you know who, okay? I didn't really need to see this tag team again. There are no tag teams anyways, which we'll kind of get into that later on, but it's not like there's any other women's tag teams, anywhere right now, I guess. And I guess the only reason why Kairi and Asuka got a rematch because rematch clause, I should say. So that's my only answer I could come up with, because I don't know why they even get another title shot after they lost, but I thought they stopped doing rematch clauses. Now I heard the rumor is that Kairi Sane most likely will be going back to Stardom back in Japan. I keep hearing that she wants out of the company. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know how true that is, but then again, I don't think anybody can get out of the country right now when you look at it. Come on, look what's going on right now. But allegedly that Kairi is supposed to be leaving. Like I said, I didn't need to see this tag match again, no, for the titles. These belts are honestly worthless, and I'm sure a lot of people had a problem with, well, well, it wasn't Bliss getting the pinfall, but once again, Kairi Sane is pinned 2 times in a row, so I don't know what you can really go off from that. But yeah, tag belts on the line just to throw a match out there. Elias was performing a song on the Perch about Corbin at WrestleMania. Pretty much about Walk with Elias and returning like Simba did in The Lion King since he got knocked off like Mufasa. Man, why do I keep messing up that name? Mufasa from The Lion King when he got knocked off the Perch last week. Basically, he looked like The Lion King a couple weeks ago. Like I said, Elias sang his song and thanked the crowd or whatever crowd was out there that night. But next, though, Dolph Ziggler came out. Him and Sonya Deville pretty much saying we just want to talk with Mandy Rose. We want to talk to our friend. Until Tucker came out there and says, look at Ziggler. He's still smitten with my man Otis's kitten. And Tucker showed some footage of Otis and Mandy Rose pretty much working out. He had a lot of bananas for some reason. Something about potassium, I guess. Don't know where that was going. What else we have here? Tucker pretty much said that Otis is busy with Mandy Rose, but he told Ziggler we still got some unfinished business to take care of, so that was going to happen. Next, they hyped up, I guess in the next 2 weeks on SmackDown, it's going to be a celebration of Triple H's 25 years in WWE. I don't know what they can really do with that. It's not like all his DX members are going to show up, or I guess it's going to be some giant retrospective of Triple H's career ever since he's been to WWE, whatever you want to call it, and everything. Because I know they're not going to bring out Evolution or DX. I'm sure there'll be a big video history and everything or whatever. I don't know what they'll do for that. Good on him in general, but I don't know what they plan to do in the next 2 weeks for this Triple H celebration of him in the company. And I guess add another accolade is NXT too. So I don't know, there's a lot you could say about Triple H, but we'll see what happens when they do this 25-year anniversary thing. Maybe it'll be just to fill time on SmackDown. And again, I'm surprised there'll be more shows anyway. I'm surprised even more shows even happening after WrestleMania right now, but I'll get into that soon enough. As for Ziggler and Tucker, not a bad match. Ziggler ended up getting the win, of course, over Tucker. Pretty much Tucker ran to the turnbuckle. Ziggler ended up getting a super kick on him. So, he got the win over Tucker. So there you go. I actually thought Tucker probably would have got the win back after a week ago, even though it was a DQ. I thought he would have gotten the win, but I guess Ziggler's got to get some heat back on him. But next thing you know, we began the dirt sheet. Miz and Morrison. Miz, I guess, who was still on this show. Maybe he didn't have the virus, but I kept hearing reports that he was sick. But hey, he's actually on this show this week. And pretty much talked about Morrison says, that the glass is always and half full. And that's full if it's still half full. It's full or half full either way. But Miz pretty much talked about, we're the tag team champions, and Morrison pretty much retained the titles on himself. And he's the first person himself to retain the titles on his own without being in a tag match. And Miz said, I'm the first person in history to retain the tag team titles from my couch. Even though he's so quote-unquote injured, I guess, or wherever going with that. But next thing you know, they start talking about matches of Mania from, now... In good news, we have a champion that will actually be on the show, which champions that will be on the show. But that's a good thing, both the WWE and the Universal Champion. At least they will not be gone all the time and you forget there's a champion. We'll actually have the champions on the show. But, they talked about, of course, Undertaker, Barry, and AJ. I think he said something about Bayley. They were making jokes about stuff on WrestleMania. And then pretty much talked about how, they're still the new champions. And then they talk about the Firefly Funhouse that, Bray Wyatt finally made John Cena disappear. I guess that you can't see me thing is finally true since he disappeared. And then next thing you know, Miz and Morrison performed their new rap single, Hey, Hey, Ho, Ho, since they had a music video last Saturday for it. Why they had it, I don't know. But why they had that rap music video, and then they started to rap about it, which It sounds worse even live. Next, you know, the Usos came out saying that Pee Wee Herman's got more street cred than y'all. And Usos pretty much said that, you know, hey, Morrison, well, you know, Miz depending on Morrison. Miz says, I'm not cleared to compete. But he said that, but Uso said Morrison carried all the work, saying you're not getting a tag team title shot. Miz Morrison tried to leave. Big E and Kofi came out. New Day, pretty much since the original match didn't go as planned. Y'all can't be like Lil Boosie on Instagram thinking y'all can do whatever y'all want. And pretty much, I guess, Kofi and them talked to management and talked about several celebrities. I know they said Lil Wayne and others, but next week there'll be another triple threat match for the tag team titles. Not a ladder match, but now it'll be the Miz, which I guess he is okay and is able to wrestle. I don't know what happened in Mania, but reports say he was sick. I don't know. That's just some swerve next week, but it will be Miz versus Jey Uso versus Big E for the SmackDown tag titles. So let's do two single triple threat matches for tag belts. We'll just do it again for some reason. Why? I don't know, except it's just with the people that did not compete at WrestleMania. So we'll see what comes from that. Just not a ladder match this time. Next we got the debut of the Forgotten Sons on SmackDown. I don't know. Okay, they beat Lucha House Party. Listen, if there was even a crowd out there, nobody would have cared for the Forgotten Sons. Nobody didn't really care for them on NXT, nor would they really care for them on SmackDown, okay? And I saw people saying tonight that, oh, they're going to ruin the Forgotten Sons, or Vince is going to ruin them, the main roster is going to ruin them. Man, they weren't really doing nothing on the regular NXT, and they weren't good, okay? So, what worse could they really do with them on the main roster, unless they flip a 180 and then somehow these guys get over? But the Forgotten Sons were never over, and they were always forgotten to begin with, so I don't see any good thing about them even brought up. People say, oh, give them 3 to 4 weeks. Man, I gave them till tonight, okay? This is not going to work. Like I said, I like Gunner, and I think he should be on his own because the other two are carrying him down, but maybe they need tag teams, but it's just funny when people say, oh, the main roster is going to ruin the Forgotten Sons. Dude, they were never good, so I can't really say they really would get ruined because they never did anything. They did nothing. They suck, okay? They fucking suck. No one cares. Like, you forget they're there. Why? I forgot the Forgotten Sons was still a thing. I'm surprised they're even on this show in general, okay? Nobody really cared on NXT. Every time I even saw them, I just didn't even care whatever match they were in because I knew where they were going to lose. I didn't care about Blake or Cutler. Like I said, I only like Gunner and the whole thing. And it's just people saying like, oh, well, let's see how far the Forgotten Sons come. And like I said, with a crowd, without a crowd, they would have not even got a reaction. Even if people that don't even watch NXT probably would know these guys just don't look good. Or somebody said they were Sons of Anarchy ripoffs. So whatever they're supposed to be. Maybe they're like Patriots like a few weeks ago when they were facing the Grizzled Young Vets. Well, I think it was a month ago now at this point. But I don't see nothing happening for the Forgotten Sons. I'd be surprised if something does happen. I really would, but I don't see if it didn't work on NXT. What makes you think it's gonna work on the main roster? But hey, some things have flipped 180 before. Look at Elias. To an extent, 4 years right now, but I remember when I crapped on Elias all the time on NXT. Was not good. He gets to the main roster, starts getting over with the crowd somehow. Was really hot at the time. I wouldn't say right now, but they kind of pulled a 180 with that. So, we'll see, but I just don't care about the Forgotten Sons, and I just don't see anything coming from this. Bliss and Cross are celebrating backstage. Next thing you know, Dana Brooke, which last time I thought she wasn't supposed to be part of these shows, someone reminded me, I thought she was in quarantine, and Carmella was here. Once again, there's another person I didn't know that was still on these shows. And again, people said mostly her and Graves have been hiding out, but I guess they came back, and since they didn't compete at WrestleMania, they want the challenge for the tag titles. Don't really care, but hey, we gotta start making up tag teams. There's no other tag teams around anyways, because like I said in my Mania review, who else do Bliss and Cross have to face? So I guess we gotta start making up tag teams. So yeah, Carmella and Dana Brooke are, I guess, a tag team now. So there you go. They're a tag team because it's made up. Sasha and Bayley came out. pretty much all about how Paige put them in that match at WrestleMania, and you know put their friendship on the line in this 5-way elimination match. But that you know Sasha said she was not successful or anything, but you know they said we defied the odds at WrestleMania. That we were able to pretty much still be the champion. That we're the best, we the best, Khaled if you want to say that, and that Bayley pretty much says that whoever doubted our friendship, screw you. And next thing you know, Tamina comes out wanting a title shot. Bayley and them pretty much say, hey, it's great to see you again. You look good. You smell great. You did good at WrestleMania. You did all this stuff at Mania and everything. You did real good. Real good. But pretty much Tamina says, you didn't beat me. You need to shut up. And I won a title shot. Sasha pretty much says that, you know, Tamina, listen, I don't know where, since you returned from whatever coconut shell you've been hiding out for the last year in, yeah, you need to get in the back of the line, okay? Because there's a pecking order going on right now. And Bayley pretty much says, you know, she's a role model, so she likes to do things fair. So Tamina, you can get a title shot. All you gotta do is beat Sasha Banks. And Tamina said, challenge was accepted. And pretty much says, sis, your bestie just screwed you. Sasha pretty much looked at Bayley for a second as you know, Bayley tried to calm down. I think Sasha wanted to do the match. So the dissension of Bayley and Sasha continues. So do I think Tamina will win that match next week? I don't know. At least they kept a promo as little as possible, so I'm not going to say it was that bad. Unless something happens next week and Tamina somehow gets a title shot. I don't know. Might as well give her a title shot. It's not like any other woman is really on their show they haven't already run through. But like I said, the story is the whole Sasha and I guess Bayley dissension going on. So we'll see what comes from that. Sheamus, there's another person I haven't seen in a while. Went against some Cal Bloom guy. Sheamus won squash match. I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared after they put him in that Shorty G feud for some reason. I don't know what was going on with that. They showed some Jeff Hardy retrospective video. Some was taken from the 24 on the network thing. I don't know where they're doing this. I guess Jeff Hardy's coming back soon. I could have sort of gave him this No More Words theme song back. But basically, they just kind of went through a history video of him starting back when he was on trampolines to him and Matt tagging with each other and, you know, ladder matches and champion and multiple championships and everything. So, yeah, I guess Jeff Hardy should be back on here soon, even though he had like one match when they started doing these empty arena shows. And I remember what he went against Corbin and then he disappeared for a while. I guess they had nothing for him to do. But in the main event, though, we had Braun Strowman, Nakamura. Match was okay. I'll say that. It was all right. I know Cesaro got involved, and Strowman ended up knocking him across the, like over the barricade and everything. Nakamura was going for the Kinshasa, but Strowman got the power slam on him and won. Next thing you know, the Firefly Funhouse happens, and next thing you know, it's a big white board, which they had the history of John Cena and Bray Wyatt, but he says, no, let me rewrite it, rewrite history and everything. Which, you know, I'm surprised it's the first time they've mostly mentioned this whole Wyatt and Cena thing, even showing footage from it. You know, I have my thoughts on it. Also, I said this in my Mania review. You know, I don't want to try to reiterate things, but, you know, I will say one thing about that whole Firefly Funhouse match real quick. Because it has to do with that in the Boneyard. I think I enjoyed the Boneyard more. Maybe because it was at least an actual fight going on. Listen, I'm not trying to discredit the Funhouse thing. I still had fun watching. I laughed a couple times. And I said this in my review. It was a nostalgia acid trip you had to be on. I couldn't call it much of a match and everything. I get there was the story going on and stuff, and don't get me wrong, like I said, a lot of it was funny, but it wasn't much of a match, okay? It really wasn't, now that I think about it. It was creative and everything, but I can't tell you it was really a match. Sometimes I couldn't even tell you what that was. Was it supposed not to make sense? Yeah, it wasn't. That's the kind of the goal. It wasn't supposed to make sense, but like I said before, would I have rather seen them in a regular wrestling match? Yeah, because, you know, I kind of sit here, I think about it now. And I know I would be jumping the gun, it could be true, but maybe Cena just didn't want to put this guy over in a regular match, and we'll just put him over this way. I'm kind of thinking that now for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm starting to think that he just didn't want to put him over in a regular match, so we'll put you over in this fun house thing and stuff. Like I said, I can go all the way back to Matt Hardy doing this too, but the stuff they did in the fun house was still good, but like I said before, I can't really sit there and call it a match. Like I got mixed opinions on that whole thing. Same with Taker and AJ in a way, but at least it came off as a fight. Okay, it looked like it was a brawl and it was a fight. Funhouse was nostalgia acid trip. So like I said, I'm just a little up and down on it at the same time. But, you know, other than my little kind of side thoughts on the Firefly Funhouse, pretty much Wyatt talked about Strowman. He's watching him, and he's happy he won the title. And then his lantern started talking, then pretty much saying Wyatt was a long time ago, and you should learn your lesson by now. And they show clips of Strowman when he was in the Wyatt family, and Wyatt says, listen, man, I brought you from the swamp. I gave you a home. Strowman pretty much, he said that Strowman turned his back on him and his family. And, listen, he just thought he could forgive him. The puppets pretty much say, you know, you could forgive him. And Ramblin says, I think Strowman's a good guy. Wyatt told the puppet to be quiet. Strowman pretty much says, I'm not playing these games with you, Wyatt. Wyatt pretty much says, Strowman has something he wants back. And it's right there on your shoulder, okay? And I guess he wants the title back. And pretty much as one circle opens, another one begins again. Or one closes, another one begins. And since I brought you into this world, I'm going to have to take you out. Wyatt pretty much started laughing and said goodbye then after that. And as he was saying goodbye, Strowman was like, hold on a second. He says, listen, anytime you want, I'm ready to let you in. And then he said, bye-bye, see you later, as Wyatt looked pissed in as Strowman's music played as Strowman got to close down the show. You know, I actually thought Nakamura was going to be going for the title again, but then again, it wouldn't have made sense because it's almost like with Big Show, anybody can just come out and call for title shots. But, you know, Wyatt makes sense because he never got his rematch for the Universal title. Even I think that match should have happened at WrestleMania anyways, kind of at this point looking at it. Now Strowman versus Wyatt, then they have history. They're in the Wyatt family together. But then again, do I think Strowman would drop the title to Wyatt at God knows whenever the next show is? Yeah, possibly. I could see that happening. Whenever, since it's a history thing. But then again, I'll probably be calling Strowman a transitional champion then if he loses to Wyatt. So I just don't know why they could have just done with Goldberg. I still think they could have Goldberg and Wyatt as a rematch. That would have made more sense or something. I even said they could have just did a triple threat with Goldberg, Cena, and Wyatt at WrestleMania for the title. That would have made a little bit more sense. But like I said, the Strowman and Wyatt thing does make sense, though. Like I said, just given their history, so we'll see what happens. You know, one thing I want to say, I guess next week we're going to have Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And then again, when's the last time you heard of a Money in the Bank qualifying match? Then again, why is Money in the Bank even happening in general? I even read today that, okay, Money in the Bank is canceled in, it's canceled in Baltimore, but I guess it's going to be having the Performance Center. And it's like my friend Steven told me tonight. So let me get this straight. We went from one ladder match at WrestleMania, but we're going to go to another ladder match in the next few weeks in the Performance Center. So I don't know how much stuff WWE has taped going on right now, or maybe they are taping more for all I know. I don't know how much content they got taped up right now, but allegedly Money in the Bank is still happening, people. It's still happening. So I thought they'd be done after Mania and after this week, but apparently there's going to be more shows going on. So we'll see what happens from this. SmackDown wasn't as bad as Raw. Maybe 2 hours is easy to get easy through, and there was some interesting stuff going on. You know, Wyatt and Strowman, even Nakamura kind of coming out challenging Strowman. I don't care about the Forgotten Sons being on this show. I don't care either way. But hey, they debuted though. Sheamus is back. The Sasha and Bayley dissension is kind of starting to go more and more. I don't understand why they did a tag match for the women's tag belts. I don't care about them in general. The dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison was whatever, so there you go. Two things I do want to address before I end this video. One thing I want to say real quick, since this is kind of important news. Number one, the Revival being released from WWE today, which I believe one of their new names on Twitter now is Cash, which, by the way, they already have a new t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, by the way, which it has them disintegrating and stuff, I guess, from WWE, so they already got shirts. Listen, I'll say this about the Revival. Listen, we kind of knew the Revival been trying to get out for a while now, and they've been pulling trademarks on their names, so we haven't seen them in TV in so long. I guess they were on their way out the door anyway, since, they always been trying to sign a contract, or the company's always tried to get them to sign a contract. Listen, I like the Revival in NXT. We already know what happened with the main roster and how it just went really bad for them. Even though they became tag team champions, they never really went anywhere, and some people just thought the Revival were bland. And I've heard the joke of calling it the new Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson stuff several times. I don't know. The Revival are great. They are. They put on great matches and everything. It's just when it came to main roster, some people thought they were bland as a character, or they were just, misused on the show, which I could wholeheartedly agree with that. So, the Revival, where do I see them going next? Because it's not like they can't go on the Indies right now, or any show. They can't go on any show right now, okay? It's a virus going on right now. But, do I see them going to AEW? Which I guess I shouldn't even be calling them Revival anymore until they come up with another name. But do I see them going to AEW? Most likely, yes. I heard some people say, maybe they showed it. Now, if they showed the NWA, that would be a big 180 because everybody's compared them to Tully and R, and that NWA would fit right their environment. It really would. Like, the Revival would fit right up there in the NWA. But, like I said, some people think either AEW they could be going to, or if they go to AEW, maybe they'll have one of those contracts where they'll go to Japan and wrestle. But I would like to see them in New Japan, though, if that happens. A lot of people were saying they could be going against Tanahashi and Ibushi, or going against teams like God or LIJ, Evil and Sonata. What other tag teams are in New Japan right now, last time I checked? I'm trying to think the heavyweight division, though, not the junior division. Well, I guess it's been a minute since I've watched New Japan. Finjuice, Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi. There's some teams in New Japan, I think. I'm just trying to go off the ones I know off the top of my head, but there are some teams in New Japan. I feel like I've seen more in the junior division, though, but they got some teams there in New Japan. It would be cool if they went over there and faced Tana and Ibushi. That'd be a good match, or I don't know where the Revival will be going right now, especially after the no non-compete 90-day clause and everything. But listen, the Revival had to go, okay? I don't think anybody blames them for leaving, and they were finally gone. They got their wish, so they've been wanting out of the company for a while now, okay? And like I said, once you didn't see them on TV anymore, it stopped. Yeah, I will agree with Randy Orton. I know he's put something on Twitter today, FTRKO. I really was kind of a fan of that team when which they never really went anywhere with it, but I think that could have been a good stable or team to whatever was going on with Orton and the Revival, especially the FTRKO thing. I always kind of liked the finisher because it was like I called it the Shatter KO. It was like the Shatter Machine and the RKO at the same time. I called it the Shatter KO. I always thought that was kind of cool. So it did kind of suck that they couldn't even make that into a team all the way. So we'll see what happens with the Revival and where they go. One other thing too, I guess, to address, the XFL suspended all operations and laying off employees, which, I guess the XFL is done at this point. I don't know if they'll be back, which I don't think any sport's going to be coming back anytime soon due to the whole coronavirus, but, I don't know, man. Listen, the XFL wasn't really going as bad, especially in this new XFL. It wasn't as bad as the first one. Listen, I watched a few games, okay? It was actually some pretty decent football. And they actually had some good ratings going on the first few weeks before the whole virus thing went down. But I guess they kind of look at it as like, hey, we can't really do nothing right now. And it's like someone brought up to me, this is an expendable, okay, to Vince McMahon. WWE's the bread and butter, because some people are wondering, like, well, why is wrestling still going and everything? Which it really shouldn't be, but why is that still going? Because, number one, WWE is the bread and butter to Vince. That's what makes him all his money. And the XFL was like an expendable thing. He could bring this back if he wants to at a later date when this whole virus, hopefully blows over sometime soon. But I think they did pay the employees and everything, but I guess they don't have a choice right now because it's not like you're going to be seeing any XFL or any sports game in a while. So I can kind of understand why that happened, to why they suspended it. But I didn't hate it. And like, people I know that probably know a little bit more about football more than me, they actually thought some of the games were decent. It wasn't even that bad. So I can't really say the XFL was that big of a failure. It just got stopped due to a virus like every other sport that's going on right now. The only thing that's kind of technically still going is wrestling, and that's only between WWE and AEW and stuff. I'm sure people wonder why the ratings don't go up in any of these shows, which is honestly a good question if everybody's sitting at home. But hey, I feel it's either more important stuff to talk about or just wrestling ain't popular, because ratings have been going down for multiple weeks now, okay? But, I just wanted to address those two things since that was some important news today. But yeah, that's my SmackDown review tonight, though. I'm out from here. Comment, subscribe. Check out any review that is posted up online right now. Check out my WrestleManias Part 1. Part 2 to WrestleMania 36 audio format style. It should be uploaded right now. Or any other review that has been posted throughout the week in these shows. Okay? So, other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodieKnight890. Peace out, and stay safe and wash your hands.